Today we have with us a woman who is synonymous with fashion. An ethereal beauty, an actor and a feminist. She has made a foray into Bollywood by being an assistant director for Black and made the nation take notice after her debut film Savaria. Post a breathtaking performance in Neerja, she won the critics and the masses alike, getting a National Award special mention and the attention of many international brands. Gracing us with her presence, please put your hands together to welcome Mrs. Sonam Kapoor Ahuja.
It's still weird for people when people call me Mrs.
You're still getting used to it?
I'm just still getting used to it.
Okay, so Sonam, I'm going to begin right with the first one. Your name is synonymous with fashion. You know,
Okay.
when anyone says the word fashion in Bollywood, the top of mind name that comes in everyone's mind is Sonam Kapoor.
Oh my God.
Right? I normally don't bother about what I have to wear, but when on the sets, when we came to know that Sonam Kapoor's coming, everybody asked me the first question, what are you wearing? Because she's going to judge you with your
That's not
with the
true.
fashion sense.
I don't judge people at all. I'm the most non-judgmental. I believe in just wearing what you feel like wearing. Even if you want to wear pajamas, it's fine. I like to dress the way I like to dress, but I don't expect anything out of anybody else.
Okay, fine. That's great. I'm very comfortable in wearing this.
Yeah.
So I think that...
You look great though. So
Thank you very much. Thanks for the compliment. And coming from Sonam Kapoor, I'm going to brag about
Thank
this for
you.
the rest of my life. Now, talking about fashion, you've carved a niche for yourself. Is it a conscious effort to position yourself in such a way that when the word fashion is uttered, you come at the top of everyone's mind?
I don't think, especially since we're talking about brand building and brands, I think the best way to, have a voice is to have an authentic voice, to tell the truth. Whether you're selling a coffee cup, you know. And as an actor, we are brands ourselves.
Sure.
We are also, even though I hate to say it, we are a commodity, but you have to tell your truth, and I was always into fashion. I loved clothes. It's a way of expressing yourself. I think fashion is art. And when I came into the industry, it was 2021. I don't think I was consciously doing anything.
Sure.
Because my mom was a fashion designer and I had an inherent love for it, I just didn't like the cookie cutter image that I was seeing of actresses. I just wanted to be myself. And in being myself, I created a niche. And young girls liked what I was doing and what I was wearing. They identified with it, and it became, I guess, what you're saying. And I hate to be immodest and say it, but yeah, people started thinking of me as fashionable because I was dressing differently, or I would like to say I was dressing like myself.
And you're very happy about it?
I'm happy that I have an identity, and I'm happy that when people think of me, they think of the kind of films I've done, which are very different from a lot of the other girls, and my clothes, right? They're not talking about anything else.
Oh, that's great. And quite a refreshing thought. You spoke about being a commodity, you spoke about brand identity. So you're quite cued on to what the concepts of marketing, positioning, branding are.
I read.
Oh, that's great. That's very interesting. So now you've been featured in prestigious lists, like Most Desirable, Sexiest Asian Woman to Woman of the Year by men's magazine GQ. And you're considered as one of the Bollywood's best dressed actresses. This is a very brand-friendly attribute. From a PR and a reputation management perspective, was it a deliberate process to highlight yourself by your agency?
Honestly, I think when you are trying to express yourself in any way, especially in this day and age where everything's become like a clickbait thing, it's very important to have some gravitas. So if I don't have the films to back my image, I just become like a reality TV star or a social media influencer. There's nothing wrong with those, but I think there are a dime a dozen. But it's important to have something else with it. And because I had the movies, whether it was a Ranjana, whether it was a Khoobsurat, whether it was a Neerja, whether it is, Veer Wedding or Ek Ladki, I guess there is that little bit of volume and a little bit of depth to my work.
Sure.
It kind of, there is more aspiration to it. PR can't do anything to somebody who doesn't have anything to talk about.
Sure.
For me, LGBTQI rights or cancer awareness or, all these things are something that really matter to me. And obviously PR and marketing is very, very important because sometimes your voice needs to be heard and there's so much going on. For my PR team, my brief is always like, I just don't let anything come out.
Early on your career, Sonam, some of the critics were harsh for your acting skills. Until, of course, Neerja came around. You garnered critical and commercial success and even got a National Award special mention. Did the initial critical backlash make you wary about surviving in Bollywood? And also now, post Neerja, do you see yourself as a persona beyond a fashionista?
Because in India, I don't think people understand comedy. I think I got really great reviews for Delhi 6 and Aisha and I Hate Love Stories and stuff like that. They did pretty well. And in between, I did 2-3 films. We need to also understand that there's always media perception or brand perception, brand building, right? And everybody has a short-term memory. So people forget the work that you've done before, and it's up to your PR to kind of make sure that that is constantly regurgitated to the press. Or for example, you're sitting here, I'm sure you don't remember an Aisha, or you don't remember Delhi 6, or you don't remember Masakali, or you don't remember Anjana.
I do.
But you still said that, right? So it's obviously a perception that's been created.
Right.
That can be from, competitive brands, right? You have competition, right? Whether it's like Pepsi and Coke. Right? They'll keep trying to pull each other down. Now, as a human being, I don't think that's ethical at all. So I have never resorted to that. But that doesn't mean that everybody else doesn't resort to that.
We spoke about competition. How do you keep yourself ahead of the competition?
I think for me, it's important to constantly be different, to go down my own path, as opposed to doing something that somebody's already done. So as long as you're an individual, there'll never be anybody like you.
Coming back to Neerja, now after Neerja, you considered a serious actor. Did Neerja help strengthen?
The only reason I got Neerja was because I was considered a serious actor.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sonam, did the film Neerja consolidate your brand equity in the industry?
I think where brands are concerned, I don't think it has to do with my films as much.
Right.
It also has to do with how I am, how I speak, what I wear, how I conduct myself. There have never been any scandals that have been attached to me. I think that really matters a lot. I have a very healthy and a good relationship with the press. I think all these things really, really matter. I've had a great run of films for the last 8-9 years. That is from the times of Ranjana, Bhag Milka Bhag. I've had like 20 films, out of which 4 have been unsuccessful. So it's been a pretty even keel for me. And that comes again because I have stuck to my guns and I've decided to do only things that I believe in.
You've been one of the highest paid celebrity endorsers in India. And you've endorsed brands like Colgate, HP, Lux, Magnum, and many more. So now, what is your criteria for selection of the category or the brand that you choose to endorse?
It has to match my brand values, worldview, and it also has to be, I guess I have to be able to use it.
Okay. Sonam, a recent law states that the celebrity should be accountable for the brands they endorse. Do you believe the same?
Which is the right thing to do.
Which is the right thing to do?
Yes.
And why do you feel so?
You need to do your proper research before being a part of the brand. If something is harmful and a young girl sees you doing it or a young boy sees you doing it and they're doing it because you are endorsing the brand, you're responsible. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it unless the brand themselves is cheating you and not telling you the truth.
Would you do your due diligence as well?
I would try my best. And sometimes, it's not in your hands.
Right.
But you need to try your best.
Sonam, you have worked on a variety of projects, be it on movies or as a brand ambassador. We went behind the scenes to your team and some of your colleagues to know a little bit more about you. Let's see what they have to say.
Okay.
Sonam has actually had a wonderful and prolific relationship with brands right from the start of her career. In this last 3 to 4 years, however, I feel that relationship has expanded even further. She continues to work with top-level brands, whether it's HP computers, whether it's brands like Magnum. Sonam is actually very particular about the brands that she endorses. She gets in quite deep to understand the brand's marketing plans, understanding their long-term vision, understanding why she is the face or would be the face of that particular brand in every shape and capacity. And that comes from a deep understanding of brands, that comes from a deep understanding of how consumers react both to the brand and to her and the partnership. So we're very lucky to have her insight and her experience coming to the fore when we make these partnerships work.
I think Sonam and my professional and personal life goes hand in hand. I started working with her because we were just so close and because I just always used to dress her up when I was younger, and it just became like, why don't you wear this? Why don't you wear that? And that's how a professional relationship started in terms of styling, and then that just extended into film. So I think one kind of feeds off the other, and the reason that I can do my job really well with her is because I know her that well. Sonam and I have very few fashion disagreements. We basically are on the same page, and she trusts me implicitly. So our disagreements are usually when it comes to time management and things like that, and we just fight like normal sisters, and then we make up like normal sisters. Yeah, I'm really excited for the future with Reason. It's going to go beyond women's wear, and it's doing really well, and we're just really blessed.
Sonam, your husband Anand runs a brand named Wedge Non-Wedge, which is a sneakers brand, and a fashion label, Bhane, as well. Now, you being an in-house fashion expert, in what capacity do you feel that you add value or contribute to his business?
As contributing in terms of understanding that there is a consumer that likes the sneaker culture, because obviously they're comfortable and they're fashionable, and everybody enjoys wearing sneakers. He knows his job. That's just one of the things he does. He actually, my family does exports. We have Shahi exports. But for Bhane and Wedge Non-Wedge is a passion project, and Bhane is a place for young creatives to go and find clothes that are of the highest quality at reasonable prices, because we have the know-how in terms of what are the best fabrics and stuff like that, because we make clothes for international companies. And where Wedge Non-Wedge is concerned, it's my husband's loved sneakers since he was a young kid.
These days, power couple marketing is also trending. And following the same, you and Anand are featured in the digital campaign for LA tourism. Did Anand need convincing to feature in this campaign by you?
Yes, the only reason he did it because of the Lakers, because he's a Lakers fan, and I don't think he's ever going to do that again. But I love LA. We both love LA, and we were super, kicked about doing it. He had a great time doing it, and it was just not a digital campaign. We were doing much more than that. I'm doing it again for LA this year.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
Sonam, digital and social media play a very vital role in celebrities' life these days. Now, in terms of virality, your hook step from Prem Ratan Dhan Payo was a huge success, and it was taken to new heights by the users of apps like TikTok. Do you take new media into account when you're creating new content, and do you ever think of delving into it yourself?
Yeah, I did it for Prem Ratan Dhan Payo. That was my idea. To do it. I like marketing films. I enjoy it. So yeah, I like exploring. I love technology. I love tech. I love new platforms. I was one of the first people on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, etc.
Sonam, you spoke about your involvement in film marketing. Can you tell us some instances where your contribution has really added value to the producers?
We have some brilliant people who do marketing. What we're trying to say from the film, I don't think better than the director and actor or the creative producers of the film, I don't think anybody knows what the film is about.
Sure.
And you take the hook of it, like for Nija, we did Fear versus Nija. You're not like a Salman Khan and Akshay Kumar, an action hero. It was a real girl who was like any of us, who came from Bandra, who studied in one of the schools in Manik G. Cooper. And, she was just a regular girl. She would have been scared. She was scared in that situation. Yeah. And people who are brave are usually scared. If you do something through your fear, that makes you brave. Sure. I started the campaign saying that this is what I am afraid of. I'm afraid that I'll never be able to live up to my father's expectations, because there's not much that grows under a banyan tree. But I still choose to do my job, and maybe that's what makes me brave. What are your fears, and what would you, go through? And I think that campaign did pretty well. Then during Padman, we did a campaign with pads. A lot of men and women are very embarrassed by the idea of periods, even though that's how they were created. And so the idea to understand that periods is not dirty, marketing is not a dirty word. And to kind of push something forward, you need to do stuff like that. The idea with Zoya was that she comes into the Zoya avatar when she becomes like the lucky charm of the Indian cricket team, and she starts wearing the color red. And that's her lucky color. It's not underlined in the film, but I just thought it was a cool idea to just wear red through the promotions. And I think it gave my sister a more creative way of styling. And I'm just having fun with it.
Do you actually think before posting something on social media?
No.
You go with your gut instinct?
I haven't bought any of my followers. So all those 45 million are all organic. Yeah.
Brilliant. And do you have time to read the comments that they actually post at times?
No.
Okay. Sonam, you've raised many eyebrows, either by your fashion and film choices or by your opinion alone. Having a collective fan following of over 45 million, many of them had a question or an opinion of their own on you. We have cherry-picked a few just for you. Let's begin.
Okay.
So it says, honest brand ambassador for Peter. do you get these very interesting comments and memes on your fashion sets?
Yeah, I guess everybody does.
Everybody gets sporting it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody doesn't have the same taste as me, clearly. I mean,
Okay, the next one. This is very interesting, so I'll read it out for you. So,
I don't have my glasses. Can somebody give me my glasses? Okay. Okay.
So that's supposed to be you. in
Which
bed.
one? Okay, that's...
The lady who's in bed. That's supposed to be your father, Anil Kapoor. And
Oh.
it says, कौन सा anti-aging cream use करते हैं?
Well, I have my father's genetics, so this doesn't work.
This doesn't work? That's a good one. The next one. Sapan says, I've seen more photos and videos of Sonam Kapoor's wedding than my own wedding. And Tanmay says, can't believe Sonam actually got married to promote Viredi wedding. Insane how far movie promotion.
Well, Tanmay is a friend, so I'm going to let that slide. I think he was just upset I didn't invite him to the wedding. And Sapan Verma, I have seen more photos. Oh, gosh, that was just Ranveer and Arjun going crazy, putting pictures out.
Okay, that's to answer Sapan. The next one. And what about me? That's what Mr. Bachchan.
Oh, my God.
This is Amitabh Bachchan, my dear. I sent you an SMS on your birthday and you never replied.
So I'm obviously grown up with Abhishek and Shweta and everyone, so he was just trolling me on social media, saying, darling, reply to me soon.
Did you actually reply to him after that?
Yeah, he'd SMS'd me, and SMS is, these days, is something that we see last. And he always messages me at 12 o'clock in the night, like to the dot. He's actually one of the first people to message me every year since I remember. And so I usually reply but I was traveling at this point. And I think I missed it, and I was going to get back to messaging him, and he was basically saying, "Beta, reply karo. Aap bado ko reply nahi kar rahe hain aajkal."
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he was just being himself.
Yes. Next one. विवेक ओबरॉय आप आपकी फिल्म में थोड़ा कम ओवर एक्ट करें और सोशल मीडिया पे थोड़ा कम ओवर रिएक्ट करें. Never reply to that.
No, I don't. Who is he? Okay.
So that was internet asked Sonam. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. Sonam, your father, the legendary Anil Kapoor, for a long part of his career did not endorse brands. But now of late, he's been seen endorsing quite a few. You also ended up featuring with him in MasterCard and Montblanc advertisements. Professionally, I want to know, what have you learned from your father?
He does he's very picky about them though. He does really, like right now he's doing Spotify, I think.
Spotify, yeah.
So I think he realized that there's more creativity involved in ads right now. I think initially it wasn't that way, and he saw some of my ads that I was doing.
Okay.
And Mont Blanc was one of the first ads we did together, and I was like, Papa, this is a very prestigious thing to do this brand. I was like, as an actor, I explained that to him. So I think that's what is.
So you convinced him?
I did, yeah.
So does he still come to you with advice when it comes to his endorsements?
Sometimes, yes.
Sonam, despite the positioning you've made of yourself, your fans might have a different perception of you. To test this, we will first ask you a bunch of questions, and then we will let you see what the fans have answered. So let's see how different or similar it is. What biopic title would you suggest for Sonam Kapoor?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Any guesses? Say.
I have no
So
idea.
let's see if they can give you any suggestions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fashionista. Sonam the Diva.
The Kapoor's Diva.
Mufat.
Sassy Kapoor. परी हूँ मैं खूबसूरत
It would be Dinchak Sonam.
They're just making stuff up.
Quite some interesting ones, but Khoobsurat, which is the name of your
Film, yes.
Okay, next one. Which movie genre would you like to see Sonam Kapoor in?
I think they'll say romantic comedies.
Rom-coms? Okay, let's see.
I like to see her in action.
Maybe a thriller. Romantic.
Action?
Horror comedy.
Horror.
I want to see her in a horror comedy, that's for sure.
I would like to see drama, sports.
She's best in whatever she does.
That's so sweet. So basically, nobody has any idea what genre I should do.
But horror.
Yeah, no. They literally came up with every genre. Because I don't think I've stuck to a genre. I think the only genre that I haven't done is horror or thriller. So let's see.
And the last one, what dressing style do you think suits Sonam the most?
Style, like clothing style.
Yeah.
Let's say Indian clothes.
Indian. Okay.
I think she looks fab in all these styles.
Party wear.
Ethnic wear. Indo-Western. Boho.
I think so. Street style.
Edgy, more chic. Indian.
Indian. I recently watched her Vogue video on YouTube and it was amazing. So I think Indian goes with Sonam.
So they're up to date with what you do.
Yeah. 45 million.
Okay, so
You've been associated with a long list of local and global brands, so it is safe to assume that you're a true connoisseur of fashion. We have a couple of games for you in which we add our own little googly. The first game is called the Brand Spell Bee. In this, there will be an audio clip played of a fashion brand, and you have to spell out the name along with the pronunciation of the same.
So let's hear the first one.
Givenchy.
Givenchy. Givenchy.
Let's see, yes. Givenchy it is.
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga is pretty easy. Balenciage. Balenciaga.
Okay, yep, you're right. Okay. You're asking the expert, guys. Like, come on, think about it.
It's a French brand.
French brand? Okay, the next one.
Didn't I say
Moschino.
Moschino. Moschino.
Absolutely. Bang on. Next one.
Cartier.
Cartier. Cartier.
I'm sure I know that too.
Sonam, our final game is called the Fashion Spell Out, where there'll be a visual of a fashion buzzword and you will have to explain to the audience what it means. So shall we begin?
Couture. We in India we love couture. People don't understand that, but we like to get our clothes made. Couture literally means made to measure. So you go there and there's something that's a one-off piece which is specially made for you.
Yeah, so that was what the answer was, the creation of exclusive custom fitted clothing.
Yeah.
Now bang on. The next one. Seam.
This is a seam line.
Demonstration as well happened. The joining of two pieces by sewing usually near the edge. Bang on.
Androgynous fashion is wearing fashion for women is to dress in a way which is non-conforming. So like a guy, if I wear a suit, I'm wearing something that's androgynous.
And absolutely, you're right. It's to avoid gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Absolutely. Or it's the same thing.
I don't know what an aglet is.
You don't know what an aglet is?
No.
Oh, that's an interesting one. So let's find out what an aglet is.
Tip of the lace. Okay.
That's what an aglet is.
I haven't worn lace in a bit.
So apart from aglet, you got everything right.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting brand googly for Sonam, and it was nothing googly for her. She aced it all.
Before we sign off, I have one last question. You have a film coming up, The Zoya Factor, the trailer of which looks very promising. What is that Sonam factor which will define all your future decisions for the brand Sonam Kapoor Ahuja?
What is the future? I think is just to continue on as I am, and I believe in evolution. I believe in evolving with everything. I believe in being the master of my own life. So dictate where I want my life to go.
Sonam, it was truly a pleasure to have you on the show. Your candor and charm made for some truly insightful and fascinating conversation. Your style, acting prowess, and unmistakable attitude has made you the ultimate cultural icon. From the entire team of Kiska brand Bajega, thank you, Sonam, for coming on to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Ladies
much.
and gentlemen, Sonam.
Thank you.
Kiska brand Bajega gives you a chance to visit our studios and interact with India's biggest celebrity brands live by answering a simple question. In which smartphone brand's advertisement have Sonam Kapoor and Hrithik Roshan featured together? A. Xiaomi, B. Oppo, C. Vivo, D. OnePlus. Send your answers to us by commenting on our Instagram post and following our page at Kiska_brand_Bajega. To our viewers, I'll see you again next week where we'll get on to our journey to know more about your favorite celebrities, brands, and the new trends. Until then, it's Aditya signing off. Happy branding.